Okay, so what we're looking at here, this is an actual low voltage transformer, but it's important to understand that this is where all your low voltage in a system originates. This particular one is a universal, so we've got several different wires here. We're not focused on high voltage side coming in. We will focus on that in a different video, but this is where your low voltage comes out. So you've got a common and a hot, and this is where all of your low voltage begins. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the heart of the low voltage control system that produces 24 volts. So incoming voltage is going to be on this unit 230 volts. That can be a range of voltage. It could be 115, but in this case it's 230 because this is an air handler. Then we have 24 volts coming out right here. So this is technically, I would call this my R terminal or hot terminal, and then my common comes off the bottom. As a technician, this can be very challenging to check just because it's difficult to get up in there, but you have to get up in there to actually check it at times. So if you come out now, you'll see the next step in the low voltage circuit is the 5 amp fuse right here. And that 5 amp fuse is the sacrificial lamb for the transformer. So if there's an issue with the system in the low voltage aspect, it will blow this fuse before it allows the transformer to be blown. Now if we come out to the actual controls here, we've got the R terminal and the common terminal. This, if I measure across these two, I'm going to have 24 volts. I then have my G terminal or indoor fan, my W terminal, this is for my heat kit right here. My indoor fan obviously is right here, going back to that. And then my Y terminal, which runs my compressor, this is bypassed through this wet switch. So if this wet switch gets any water on it, it'll break the signal. So it's very common to see on indoor units that are located in an attic or closet. And then finally we have the O terminal, which is it's an orange. Typically is the color that we will always use for that. So when you're talking about terminals, don't address them as the orange terminal. It's the orange wire used for the O terminal. It's the red wire used for the R terminal. So now at the thermostat, this is where all of your switching happens here. So my R terminal comes in. It's my let's see if we can get that camera clear up. It won't clear up. There we go. So this is my R terminal right here, R terminal right there. Got my red wire connected to there. There's my common terminal. And what happens on a thermostat is that R comes in, and then depending on what the thermostat is set to, it sends signals down these wires. So O, which is my orange wire, O terminal. The B is used only in the case of powering the reversing valve in heating instead of in cooling. So O is for cooling, B is for heating. Then we have our Y terminal right here, and we've got our G terminal, which is our indoor fan. So signal, and then our W, which is our heat kit. So all that happens is power comes in here and then transfers across to any of these terminals that are needing to be engaged. Let's go to the outdoor unit. Outdoor unit, the first thing to take note of is where the low voltage comes in is to make sure you have plenty of excess of wire so that you can easily get to these wires and diagnose the different voltages of what is actually happening here. So once again, we have our R terminal, which is our hot signal. We have our common terminal. We always check all of these to common. So think of it this way. Common is out here. If I want to see if I'm getting a Y signal, for instance, I have to check to this common wire. Or if I want to see if I have a hot signal, I got to check from here to here. I cannot check from here to here. That doesn't give me a good reading. So R common, our Y, which is our compressor, our orange, which is our reversing valve over here, and our W, which sends a signal back from this defrost control board to the heat kit on the indoor unit. And that's all of your low voltage wiring.